everybody, Rose Matter here. Welcome to episode 23 of my Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair Let's Play. This is the episode I'm sure a lot of you guys have been waiting for, the final class trial, and quite a few of you in the comments have said this is one of the best class trials in the entire series, so obviously I'm hyped for it. There's a lot of questions that I'm hoping that this trial will answer. Not just about Nagito, but around this whole killing, school trip, the island. There's just so much that I need to know, and I'm really excited to find out the answers. So, without further ado, let's get into it and wish me luck, you guys. Alright, so I've got my skills picked. I guess it's now time for me to give you guys my theory about who the murderer is. And I have to say, with the introduction of this ultimate imposter, I mean, there's been talk throughout the game about the correlations between the first game and this one, with the killings being very similar. So I think the way the game wants us to think is that maybe it was similar to the Junko and her sister situation, where the person who got killed isn't actually Nagito, but it is the imposter disguised as Nagito, and I'm thinking maybe Nagito is somewhere and he's the one who killed the ultimate imposter, because I just think Nagito, he's just too slick. He's too sly. I don't think he would just go down this easily. I think he's still alive, and it's actually the ultimate imposter who is dead. But the fact that the game has been hammering it into us about the similarities between the murders of the first and second game, I think that that's the way the game wants me to think. And then it's gonna just pull the rug under me. It's gonna be something completely different. But that is my theory, is Nagito is still alive somewhere. He killed the ultimate imposter disguised as him. So, yep, that is what I think. So, let's get into the class trial and we will see how right or probably dreadfully wrong that I am. So, let's do it.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Oh, look at Monokuma. She's so, like, intense right now. She had, like, kind of her moments before we came here where she was just very determined. I'm like, something's gotten into her.
Oh my! Monokuma? My cute little sister? You're awfully quiet. What's happened to you? You've ascended the ladder of adulthood and reached the moon? Because you're a rabbit?
Yeah, she's like, I'm not even gonna talk to you. She's so stoic and silent and badass right now. And Monokuma's like, I'm gonna beat that out of you. Nah, she's still standing strong though. Look at her.
One more time!
That is one of the questions I would like answered, is what is Monokuma's deal? Whose side is she on?
How about this one?
Like, I don't know what to think about her.
This will be my final blow!
Maybe she was originally working against us, but maybe she became attached throughout this whole killing school trip, and now she's trying to help us out. Even though we've been so cruel to her.
It's useless.
Please stop! I feel bad for Monokuma.
You're right. Now's not the time for me to horse around with Monokuma. The class trial has started, after all. The victim this time is Nagito, who is attempting to reveal the traitor for everyone's sake. Who in the world killed him? I'm so curious.
I am too. I think of all of the trials in this game, this is the one I'm most like, I really need to know what the hell happened. Who is the killer?
If he was killed for trying to reveal the traitor.
I hope none of my faves, it better not be any of you guys. Sonia, Chiaki, Fuyuhiko, please God, none of you. The other ones, meh.
That traitor is obviously the killer. They were trying to shut Nagito up.
I highly doubt it's any of these guys, but if it was Akane or Kazuichi, I hate to say it, but I wouldn't feel as upset about it.
No, that might not be it.
Oh, okay. Kazuichi has a theory, but all of his theories thus far have not been great.
Huh? Are you trying to protect the traitor? They didn't call out when we were in danger. Wait. Don't tell me you're the traitor.
Don't say something so stupid. There's no way in hell I'm the traitor.
Now that's more like it. Why don't you guys hurry and start arguing already?
The traitor and the killer who murdered Nagito is here, right? Are they the same person? Or... Alright, Kazuichi, let's see what you have to say this time. Hopefully it's not as stupid as whatever you said. You said something really dumb in, I think, the last class trial.
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to shut him up. I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
Okay,
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
so that's his theory, is that he's
It's
being
because the
tortured?
killer tortured Nagito.
So that's why he was so beat up.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
She's so proud of
If
that.
so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I found it by coincidence.
You lay off. You lay off,
There's
best
no
boy.
way I'd torture someone.
I mean, you are a Yakuza, so if there was anyone here who would torture someone, you would be the most likely suspect. Why did the killer have to torture Nagito? No, were the wounds on Nagito's body really caused by torture in the first place? I mean,
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth
you
to
look
shut
at
him
his
up.
body, it looks
I'm
pretty
telling you, they were
tortured.
torturing him.
Okay.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
All right, well, let's take a look. So that's Kazuichi's theory, is that he was torturing him for information about where the bomb was? Okay, so I've got to disprove that. Well, let's take a look at the torture wounds. Both of Nagito's legs were tied with rope, and each rope was tied to nearby pillars, which prevented him from moving. His thighs were also covered with a lot of stab wounds. Well, I mean, you look at it, it was a very deliberate, and it seemed like a slow process. It definitely does look like torture, but I wonder if that's what the killer wanted us to think. Okay, so the duct tape. Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape, however, the blood that was splattered onto his face wasn't underneath the duct tape. Tape itself has a lot of crinkles, as if Nagito was desperately moving his mouth underneath it. Okay, so that might disprove. So Kazuichi is saying that he was torturing, someone was torturing him to reveal something, but I mean, the fact that it says that his mouth was moving underneath, right? Like, why, if you're torturing someone for information, why would you shut their mouth? Because then they wouldn't be able to tell you anything. I mean, I guess to keep them quiet, but... okay, so there's the Monokuma plushie. Okay, so there's this whole thing. Has a huge bloody hole in its stomach, as if it was stabbed. There was the panels. I don't think that has anything to do with what we're... And then there's the oil lighter. Okay, so there's the fire. Monokuma's account. Monokuma knew all along the bombs were fake. He never revealed that fact to anyone. I think that was all of them. Okay, so based on what I've got here, I'm gonna guess it's the duct tape.
Because the killer tortured Nagito.
But I'm just
So
trying to see
that's why he
where
was
would
so beat
I
up.
use that.
What were they trying to find out by torturing him? Definitely the bomb's hiding place.
No, because that would be me agreeing with her. I don't want
If
that.
so, the suspect is whoever found the bomb first.
That was Fuyuhiko.
I don't... Maybe that's where...
I found it by coincidence.
Okay, and I don't think I've got any proof
There's
that
no
he
way
found
I'd
it by
torture
coincidence.
someone.
Okay. So let's try...
The killer didn't tape Nagito's mouth to
I think
shut
it's
him up.
Kazuichi. He says something here.
I'm telling you, they were torturing him.
The reason Nagito's body was covered with wounds.
It's because the killer tortured
Let's
Nagito.
try that.
No, that's wrong.
All right, cool. Awesome. I'm wondering if I'm right on like why that is.
But Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape.
There you go.
So he
Okay.
wouldn't have been able to confess anything.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Doing well so far. Literally is the first thing, so let me not get too cocky.
If he was being tortured for information, they wouldn't have taped his mouth like that.
I'm prepared.
Oh, here we go. Wow, they're getting into this quick, huh?
Ah, I just realized it. It's a trap.
Trap?
Stupid Hajime. You got caught in that trap.
Don't call me stupid. Yeah, stupid. Oh, okay. Alright, quite a few things here. Hopefully this one will go better
Like
than the
you
one I
said,
did with,
Nagito's mouth was taped shut.
who was it?
You obviously assumed he couldn't talk, right?
I'm sorry,
But
guys,
that
I'm
was
so
the
bad
trap.
at this.
They wanted to hide the fact that he got interrogated.
I can't back down!
Oh, okay. Go, 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 go. Come on, come on. Yes, there we go, there we go. Doing better than I
But
did
if he
with
taped his mouth shut,
Gundam.
how is he supposed to answer anything?
Yeah, exactly.
Pay attention. This is how. First, the
Oh.
killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
Okay.
Then, after they killed him, they duct taped his mouth shut.
Oh, shoot.
Damn it!
Okay. It just goes so quickly. I don't even really have time to, like, read what he's saying versus what I have. Okay, so he's saying...
Like you said, if Nagito's mouth
Gotta
was
do it
taped,
again.
obviously assume he couldn't. But that was the trap.
I'm so
They wanted
focused
to
on
hide
this
the fact that he got interrogated.
that I'm not really focusing on what Kazuichi's trying to say
But
here.
if you tape his mouth shut, how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bombs. Then, after they killed him,
Okay. Oh, dang.
Damn it!
Sorry, guys. Doing badly right off the
like
start.
you said, if Nagito's mouth was taped, you obviously assume he couldn't talk, right? But
I just
that
got-
was the trap.
I just gotta let him say
They wanted to
stuff.
hide the fact that he got interrogated.
And I gotta look at my my actual
But if you tape his
stuff
mouth
here,
shut,
too.
how is he supposed to answer anything?
Pay attention. This is how it went down. First, the killer tortured Nagito and got information about the bomb's location.
Okay, so I got information about the bomb's
Then,
location.
after they killed him,
After they killed him.
they duct taped his mouth shut.
Okay, let's go through. Okay, so there's the torture wounds. They're saying after he killed him, he duct taped his mouth shut. Okay, so that's what he's saying. Was the burned rope, I think, was a... Rope was tied to Nagito's right arm, burned off. However, Nagito's right sleeve still looks clean. Okay. Was this... Oh, God, I'm trying to remember which ones were actual clues. I think the duct tape was also one. I have already used it, but we've established in previous ones that I can use the same clue twice. There we go. Okay. Blood that was splattered on his face was not under the duct tape. So there we go. That's got to be it right there. So he's talking about after he killed him, he duct taped him, but that couldn't be possible. Okay, we got it. I think. There's the Sphere of Gungnir. I'm pretty sure I've got it, but I mean, it never hurts to take a look at the other clues, but okay. So I'm gonna have to...
That was close, you guys. Thanks to me, you guys didn't get caught in the trap.
Alright, Kazuichi. They taped Nagito's mouth after getting information from him. That does sound reasonable, but that clearly contradicts the truth. If he had listened to me until the very end, I wouldn't have to go to the trouble of repeating myself.
Pay attention. This is how it went down.
Alright, so we got the duct tape.
First, the killer
Oh,
tortured
wait, I
and
gotta
got
do this,
information
too.
about the
So
then
it's not
after
that one.
they killed
There we
him.
go. Right there? Yes?
Allow me to cut through
Sweet.
those words.
I'm really sorry, you guys. Like, you think the amount of times that I played this,
No. There's
And
no
done
doubt
this,
Nagito's mouth was covered with duct tape before he was
I've done
beat up.
this minigame, I would be better at it, but there's so much time in between the class trials for me. It's like I forget. It's like my brain resets. I gotta learn it again.
What did you say?
Alright, Kazuichi, stop being a dick. Stop making me have to do that minigame,
Who
please.
cares about the duct tape? We might as well settle this with rock, paper, scissors.
We don't need to play a game. It's clear the duct tape was on his mouth before the torture even began.
Why do you always side with Hajime? Do you have a crush on him or something?
Maybe. The two can be separate things. Are you in elementary school or something?
You were with us when I peeled the duct tape off Nagito's mouth, right? The blood on Nagito's face wasn't under the duct tape, remember?
The blood on his face came from his arm wounds. Which means the duct tape was on his face before his arms were even wounded.
And the duct tape had a lot of crinkles around his mouth. He must have been struggling to open his mouth under the duct tape.
And that's the thing too, is like, I mean, I get it. Anyone, I'm sure, would succumb to torture, but I feel like Nagito, he's like such a stoic when it comes to that. I feel like, I don't know, his whole face, like that face, that look of fear, I just can't see Nagito being like that. He would just be, I don't know, he would probably almost, I'm not gonna say enjoy it, but I feel like of all of us, he would be able to stand it the most. And that's why, that's another reason I think it might be the imposter.
Perhaps the duct tape was used so we wouldn't be able to scream. Then it's like I said at the beginning. The tape wasn't for torture. It was to keep his mouth shut.
So he goes like, believe me, I've done this plenty of times. I know what I'm talking about.
However, if they wanted to seal his mouth, they did not need to hurt him with such ferocity.
They probably had a deep grudge against Nagito.
All right, so this is probably the next thing we're gonna have to figure out. Why his body was so desecrated.
Then, are you saying the killer was trying to make him suffer?
It looks like it. I mean,
If so, it's friggin' crazy. Did they go psycho or something?
and that's another thing I can maybe see Nagito. Maybe he just like, if he's the one who killed someone, I could see him just kind of like snapping, and maybe he just like went to town on that guy.
No, they didn't just go crazy. Whoever did this must be one crafty bastard.
And what better way to describe Nagito than a crafty bastard, right?
If not, they wouldn't have taken the time to set fire to the crime scene and destroy all the evidence.
He's so thorough too. It's like he's upset that his first attempt at killing someone went badly, like when he tried to kill Byakuya, and he's like trying to redeem himself, being like, no, I can pull this off.
The warehouse fire was for destroying evidence?
We can't think of any other reason.
But who could have done that? When the fire occurred, everyone in this room was gathered in front of the warehouse. Yeah, and right after I opened the warehouse door, the flames started burning from the very back. Which means it is plausible to think that nobody here set the fire.
The killer isn't one of us. But that's not the case, huh? I mean, it's wishful thinking.
Even if it was only a coincidence, the timing was just too perfect.
Based on the pattern up until now, we should suspect that some kind of setup was used for this.
Wait, didn't we establish this? It was the, what was it that was blocking the door? It was...
Some kind of setup? Like
I'm
what?
blanking. I know I've got it in my truth bullet somewhere, I'm sure.
I do not know that, but that has been the pattern before.
That's
no
our
such-
Miss Sonia. You have such an amazingly high intellect. Alrighty then, let's think about this based on what Miss Sonia thinks. Is that okay, Miss Sonia?
Oh my god, you're so thirsty.
Damn right it is!
The reason for the fire, huh? They're right, we need to clear that up first.
The direct cause of the fire was the oil lighter found at the crime scene, right?
The killer used some kind of setup. He lit the curtain on fire with the lighter.
Oh yeah, it was the
Some kind of
right, the
setup?
panel of the Monokumas, they were all like lined up to go
Did they use
over
the
like
oil
dominoes.
as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter, it can stand upright while the flame is lit.
If they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
Okay, so now I've got to agree
There
with
should have
someone
been a way
here.
to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps opening the door caused intense wind pressure to tip over the lighter.
There's a lot of stuff I could agree with here. Okay. Some kind of setup was used to start the fire, so what could it be? Alright,
The direct...
pretty sure it's the panels, but let's just, A lot of tipped over Monokuma panels were scattered around the goods warehouse. In one area, the panels seemed to be laying on top of each other in a straight, orderly line. Oh, yeah, that's right. So that was
Cause of
Akane
the
when she
fire was-
kicked open the door, and she said there was something like blocking
The
the
oil
door.
lighter found at the crime scene,
That's
right?
what it was, yeah. So she
The
knocked them
killer
over.
used some kind of setup.
Okay, so let me get the
He lit the curtain on
panels
fire with the
first.
lighter.
There we go.
Some kind of setup?
Did they use the oil as an improvised fuse?
They probably just threw the lighter. Based on the shape of that oil lighter,
Someone said
it
something
can
about
stand
the
upright.
If
door.
they tipped over the lighter in some way, it could have ignited the curtain.
Some way?
Maybe they used invisible thread.
There should have been a way to tip it over with sound waves.
Or perhaps
Oh,
opening the
there
door
it is. There it is.
caused...
There it is. There it is.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Sonia. I gotta say, she's probably the one that I like agree with the most in terms of these
I
class
also
trials.
agree
She's
that
good at
opening
it.
the door is what started the fire.
Just as I thought. It was the wind pressure.
Okay, you were half right.
A dust devil blown here from glorious Japan.
No, not wind pressure. They probably used the Monokuma panels. A huge number of tipped-over Monokuma panels were found at the crime scene, right? It looked like they were scattered everywhere, but some were laying on top of each other in a single line. Just a single line leading from the warehouse door to the fire's origin.
Does that mean anything?
So we still have to figure out how... how the killer got out. They'd have to get out another way because... I'm trying to think, because it would disrupt his setup. I say his, it might be her. I don't know who the killer is. So like maybe they got out through a window or something, because how would they be able to get out of the warehouse if they had this whole like panel thing set up?
The killer probably arranged those Monokuma panels to create a domino effect.
A domino effect. You mean those tiles kids play with by lining them up and tipping them over?
In place of those tiles, the killer used the Monokuma panels. So when we opened the warehouse door, the first panel toppled into the second,
There's still that Monokuma plushie. I don't know what the deal with that is.
and from there, they fell like dominoes until they reached the lighter at the end.
But wouldn't it be obvious that those big panels were falling over?
That's probably why they turned off the lights in the warehouse, so we wouldn't notice them.
So the reason the warehouse was dark was to hide the domino effect.
And one more thing. There was something else the killer did to hide the domino effect, right?
Oh, what? Okay, the killer did one other thing to hide the... Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe the Monokuma plushie? Emulator? Oh boy, okay. There's a lot of stuff to go through and not a lot of time. Yeah, there's that whole notebook too. Who wrote those if she can't? She can't write. Okay. Didn't check these guys up here. Oop. Torture wounds, burned rope, maybe? No, I don't think that would be it. Blood on left hand, duct tape. I don't think it's the duct tape again. Maybe the plushie? Or the MP3 player? Maybe because the music would, like, catch our attention and we wouldn't be focused on it? I'm gonna go ahead with that, and if it's not, I'm gonna try the plushie.
I see!
Alright, cool.
You're talking about the MP3 player, right? That hymn blaring throughout the warehouse masked the sound of the falling panels.
Or someone just felt like being very dramatic. The inside of the warehouse felt even darker because our eyes were still used to the bright sunlight outside. Within that darkness, a loud hymnal? Hopefully that's right, blared throughout the warehouse at full volume. Do you guys hear something? Yeah, it's really damn loud. Does Nagito like listening to this depressing crap? I could see him like just in a corner crying to this music. No, I'm not talking about the music. And as if on cue, it suddenly started.
That's it. So the strange sound was actually the sound of the panels falling.
Damn Akane and her like superhuman hearing.
But those sounds weren't the only strange thing, right? Looking back on it, it was also strange when we opened the door to the warehouse.
It's fine, I'll open it slowly. No, that's not the problem. Seriously, it'll be fine. With those words, Akane brushed off everyone's warnings and slowly opened the door to the warehouse. Clatter, clatter, clatter. It's not opening? Is there something blocking the door? I can barely open it. I knew it. It's a trap. Seriously, just stop it, okay? Didn't I tell you it'll be fine? I just gotta use a little more force. What happened to opening it slowly? Akane ignored their protest, and with a mighty kick, the door flew open.
Ah, so the door was being blocked by a Monokuma panel.
And when we opened the door, the domino effect started, and the falling panels eventually reached the lighter.
Yeah, and that's how the warehouse caught on fire. At least, that's how it looks.
You don't look so sure.
At the time, Akane mentioned that she could barely open the door.
Because the panel was blocking it, right?
But the blocked doorway, there wasn't enough space for a person to fit through, right?
Oh, are we gonna get now to how someone could escape the warehouse?
Is that a problem?
It's a major problem. I mean, that door was the only entrance to the warehouse.
Unless the killer was there the whole time, just watching us from somewhere. If that door was the only entrance to the warehouse. So the problem Chiaki's talking about is... we couldn't take any merch.
I see!
If the panel was so close to the door that it could barely be opened, the killer inside the warehouse wouldn't be able to leave, right?
Now that you mention it.
Does that mean they were hiding inside?
Who? We were all outside the warehouse, you know.
Based on the patterns up until now, I believe some kind of setup was used.
You don't have to think so hard. There's actually only one person who could have possibly done this.
Huh?
You don't mean...
If that's true, this murder...
Hajime?
Oh,
What do you
snap.
mean?
Are they saying it could have potentially been a suicide? That's what I was kind of floating that idea around too. The person who set up the domino effect inside the warehouse. There's only one person who could have done that. Oh, Nagito, you tricky little bugger.
This is my answer! What if it was Nagito?
And like I was saying, and then he set up some sort of like Rube Goldberg machine. I remember it now. And he had it all set up where I don't think that explains like the tape and why he would be screaming and the stab wounds and all that, but like, I don't know.
Why'd you bring him up? He's the victim, you know.
I could also see him killing himself to be like, I will be the sacrifice for hope or whatever.
He wasn't just the victim. Maybe.
Huh?
Not just the victim? What does that mean?
But we are still very early into this class trial, which means there's gonna be quite a few more twists and turns.
He was the victim. And he was the perpetrator, too. Maybe.
Though Chiaki doesn't seem so sure.
Are you saying this was a suicide? Don't be stupid.
Maybe he was working with
His body
someone?
was covered in torture wounds. Or did you already forget?
Maybe he was working with the ultimate imposter. Maybe he knew about... Oh, yes, he must have known about it. That's right, because he was the only one who had the book with all of our information, so no one else except him would have known about this ultimate imposter.
Are you saying those were all self-inflicted?
But Nagito might do something like that, don't you think?
Yeah, I could see that.
That's not the issue. He was tied up, remember? Even for a creep like Nagito, It'd be impossible for him to tie up his own arms and legs.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what we have to figure out.
Yeah, as long as you understand.
It seems we need to discuss how Nagito was able to tie himself up.
Need to discuss?
Okay, so she's still going on that he tied himself up.
That's not necessary at all. No matter how much you think about it, it's clearly impossible.
Like you said, it seems impossible if you think about it, but I feel like I'm overlooking something. Okay, so there was a way he could have tied himself up?
To actually tie up your own arms and legs. That's obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
Oh boy, how am I gonna
Couldn't do
prove
much
this?
with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Are they implying that he
How about
wasn't
if you
by
use your
himself?
teeth?
Your teeth?
Or if you use your front tail.
What?
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Oh, I shouldn't be laughing during this, but... Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy laughing at Akane's joke. Okay. If our assumption that Nagito committed suicide is correct, Nagito should have tied himself up too. It's okay, right?
To actually tie up your own arms and
Alright,
legs.
it's gotta be something to do with the
That's
rope.
obviously impossible!
Tying just the legs is one thing, but
Maybe the survival knife?
tying both arms.
The duct tape again? I don't know. Okay, let's go with the rope. Okay. The rope that was tied to Nagito's right arm burned off. However, Nagito's right sleeve still looked clean. Okay. The rope burned off. Oh, I feel like there's something to this part, but I can't visualize how that would work. Okay, let me look at the other ones. I'm like, and how would he stab himself in the hand as well? I mean, that could imply maybe he was holding on to the rope. There's this plushie, too. I don't know if the plushie has anything to do with being able to, Oh, this one is tricky.
Would be impossible.
The only thing I can think of would be the burned
You
rope.
couldn't do much with the free arm.
But where would I
It'd be
use
impossible
that?
if you were by yourself.
How about if you use your teeth?
But then there's the whole by himself.
Or
I'm
if
still
you use
wondering
your
if he
front
worked
tail.
with someone.
Dirty joke! Is
I
that
refuse-
a dirty joke?
I should agree with Akane for that, just for funsies. Okay. All right,
to
let
actually
me.
tie up your own
let's
arms
bring
and
up-
legs. That's obviously impossible.
Maybe I'll try the.
Tying
works-
just the legs is one thing, but tying both arms would be impossible.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by
Maybe I'll
yourself.
try the by yourself. Oh no, I didn't have chance.
How about if you use your
Well,
teeth?
that was a
or
fail.
if you use your
Dirty joke! Is that a dirty joke?
Or no, somehow like when the fire started, maybe it. Oh, I don't know. Let me try the thing
To
about
actually
someone
tie
else.
up your... That's obvious.
Tying just the leg, tying both arms would.
You couldn't do much with the free arm.
It'd be impossible if you were by yourself.
Oh, frick. Ah, dang it. That wasn't it anyway. Okay. Is there a way to tie up your arms and legs by yourself? If so, I'd like you to explain it to me. Oh yeah, I guess we are arguing the fact he did do it himself, but I'm still thinking there was someone else involved.
Crap.
Don't call me a dumbass. I mean, I do kind of feel like a dumbass for that, but... Okay,
To actually tie up your own arms
let's try
and
this one.
legs.
Oh, jeez, I hit X again.
No, that's
Oh
wrong.
no, okay, that was the right one. Okay. Slipped
Hold
up a
on a
little
sec.
bit there.
Isn't that premise flawed?
I'm not actually sure what I'm arguing here. I was guessing the rope had to do something with it.
What? I mean, it's no mistake that his arms and legs were...
No, it shouldn't have been both of his arms. The rope on his right arm was completely burnt up. Based on that, you can't say he was tied up.
That's where they're getting at. Okay.
That was just burned by the fire. He should have been tied up before then.
It burned because of the fire. Like you said, it might look like that.
God damn, Nagito, you put so much thought into this.
But that was part of the trap. There's concrete evidence that
I shouldn't be
proves it.
surprised, but man. The proof that the burnt rope on Nagito's right arm is a trap. Oh, crap. Can I check the truth bullets? Okay, so it obviously has something to do with his arm. Maybe it's the knife? The burned rope itself. The oil lighter. I feel like all of these could be torture wounds. Oh, Nagito's right sleeve still look clean. Okay, let's try the right sleeve then.
I see!
Take a close look at his right sleeve. Even though the rope was burnt up, his sleeve wasn't burned at all. Wouldn't you agree?
Alright, alright.
A burn like this, no matter how you think about it, is unnatural. That rope was burned in advance so it would look like it was burned in the fire.
Okay, I wasn't sure where they were getting at there, but...
Then Nagito's right arm wasn't tied up, right? He was able to move it freely, right?
Okay. Then there is the case of, like, the knife through his hand, though.
Yeah, that should be the case.
If his other arm was tied up, how would he be able to do that?
Hajime, that's awesome! I'll let you cop a feel if you want.
Okay.
Akane, you should not give it away for free. Make sure they pay you first.
Goddamn. Sonia. All right, I will, yeah. Good life advice, I guess.
That's definitely wrong.
Fine. I just gotta get a Benjamin from him before I let him touch me, right?
Jeez. Charge a little more, Akane.
That's not what I meant. I'm talking about Nagito. I mean, even if his right hand wasn't tied up,
There
the
we go,
knife was
yes.
still stabbed into it, you know?
It's impossible to stab a knife into your right hand with your right hand. Ah, that much is obvious.
Okay, so now I gotta figure out how this was possible.
Hajime, you tricked me. Give me back that Benjamin.
Not only did she try to charge me, now she wants the money back? What the heck?
Hold on. There should be a way.
Then hurry up and spill it.
If it's something lame, I'll make you give back the Benjamin with 10,000% interest.
A way to stab yourself in your right hand using only your right hands. There's definitely an answer for this. Alright, I'm trying to visualize it. So, he has his right hand free. So, I'm just trying to you guys can't see it, but I'm just like moving my arm. I'm just like, the only way I can think of it is if you like
Even if
slammed,
Nagito's right hand was free,
you slammed your hand onto something
how
rather
could he
than
stab his right
have
hand with his right hand?
rather than have the knife stab
he
you,
threw the
you
knife into the
stab
air.
yourself.
And let the knife fall. Could he stab his hand that way?
Maybe, but I feel like that's a little...
Is he a throwing knife expert?
Who knows with friggin'
Maybe he
Nagito?
propped the knife somehow?
Yes,
And
exactly.
slammed his right hand down on it?
Yes, Chiaki, we are on the same page.
Propped it onto what?
Exactly what I was thinking.
If he just propped the knife, he could have used his bound left hand.
If you're tied up, your arms won't bend that easily. We don't know if his left hand could even reach his right hand.
Give me back that Benjamin. Alright, Akane. If Nagito could only use his right hand to stab himself in the palm, then how did he do it?
Even if Nagito's right hand was free.
Okay, so, I mean, I definitely think I'm supposed to agree with Chiaki that it's propped up somehow. What were the other ones?
How could he
Torture
stab
wounds,
his right
burn
hand
rope,
with his right
survival
hand?
knife, Monokuma
If
plushie,
he threw the knife
blood
into
and
the
girder,
air and let the
No,
knife
oh,
fall,
torture. Okay, so now I know. So I'm just trying to think, what was near... What could he have used? So there's a survival knife itself. There's a whole thing, though, about the wounds on the legs and left arm. I guess that was implying that he did do that himself. I still don't know why he would do that, though. I guess to make it seem like someone else did it? Oh, dang, yeah, there it is right there. So he slammed his hand down, it was propped up, there was the hole for it, and then he got the blood on it. There we go. Okay, that one wasn't
could
so
he stab
bad.
his hand that way?
So it was the Monokuma plushie,
Is he a throwing knife expert?
and I'm agreeing with
Maybe he
Chiaki.
propped the knife somehow?
I agree with that.
There we go.
The life-sized Monokuma plushie. He must have used that to prop the knife.
Makes sense. That's why there was a big hole in the plushie's stomach. He inserted the knife handle into that hole to prop it up. Then he slammed his hand onto it.
It was pretty far away from his body, though. I wonder if he kicked it away so it wouldn't seem so obvious?
If that's it, he had to place the plushie near him. And
Or
it
he
also
pushed it away.
explains
He
the
wouldn't be able to
mysterious
kick it
blood on
away
the
if his legs
plushie.
were tied up.
So the blood on the plushie came from Nagito after he stabbed the knife into his own right hand.
I see. So that's the trick.
But for a moment, I seriously thought Monokuma died or something.
A bleeding plushie is super scary. It's got the same fear factor as a doll whose hair grows too long.
After stabbing his hand, he no longer needed the plushie, so he cast it off toward the fire's origin point.
He probably thought the fire would incinerate it and
Okay.
destroy the evidence.
So what do you think now, Fuyuhiko?
I get what you're saying about the wound on his right hand, but there's still one huge problem. The spear. Basically, you're saying Nagito committed
Oh.
suicide by impaling himself with a spear.
Okay.
Right?
So I gotta figure how that happened.
If you think about the order, getting killed by the spear should have been the last thing to happen to Nagito.
See, Kazuichi, unlike you, Fuyuhiko actually brings up some good points.
If that's true, how is that possible? He can't grab a spear with his right hand if a knife is stabbed into it and his left hand was all tied up.
Then he probably took the spear first, and as he endured the pain, he stabbed the knife into his right hand.
There is a limit to his constitution. If you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Kazuichi, I was thinking it too. Don't say it.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch all that.
God, I hate the fact that Kazuichi and I have the same thought sometimes. Ugh.
Like I said, if you got penetrated by something so big and thick, you would die instantly.
Say it one more time.
No, I'm not that bad though.
Need
Come on.
recorded. For reasons.
Hey, bastard, you better cut it out!
Like she said, in that condition, it's very difficult to stab yourself with a spear. It'd be hard to use a spear with a knife stabbed into your right hand while your left hand is tied up.
I'm thinking maybe the fire. If it was hung on the ceiling, and maybe the fire, like, once it reached the ceiling, maybe it's burned up the rope and then the spear went through his stomach. But that would have happened pretty much as soon as we walked in. So yeah, although they did say when was the time of death, it was pretty much when we entered the warehouse, I think. So maybe.
So you're saying it's impossible?
But no matter what I think, I can't believe Nagito's death was caused by someone else.
I also agree with that. To think that one of us could kill someone with such cruelty, I could never believe that.
You say you can't believe it? You just don't want to believe it, right? But that's why you keep getting betrayed over and over again, right? Same goes for this time, too.
You just shut your mouth.
Oh,
It's
she finally
against the
spoke.
rules to interfere with everyone. If you even think about doing anything, I have a plan of my own.
I like this, Monami. You should have popped up sooner.
Monome's sassing me.
But it's just as Monokuma said. We've been betrayed over and over again so far. So this might also be the same. Calling this a suicide takes too much for granted, and it's too convenient.
Then are you saying there is a killer among us, Kazuichi?
Of course, that doesn't include Miss Sonia and me.
As Kazuichi said, it's true we've been constantly betrayed. But even if I'm betrayed again, I still want to believe in everyone. No matter how many times I may be betrayed, I still want to believe in everyone.
I also want to believe that there's no killer, but suicide is unimaginable.
So now we're getting away from the suicide idea?
Do you really think so?
But You said it too. It'd be impossible for him to stab himself with a spear in his condition.
I did say difficult, but I never said impossible.
Okay, so we're not getting away from it. Looks like I'm gonna have to prove some more stuff here.
I feel that there's some way he could have stabbed himself with that spear.
What kind of way?
I don't know.
Oh, Chiaki.
You don't know.
It's impossible to figure out by myself. So let's think about it together. That's how we made it this far up till now.
Everyone working together.
This is exactly what Nagito wanted, right? He wanted us to work together for hope. She's right. We made it through several ordeals up till now by doing that. Then even now.
All right, let's do this.
All right, so now I have to figure out how he could have stabbed himself with the spear.
How did Nagito stab
I wonder if
himself
my
with a spear?
theory might be right about
Let's
it
work
hanging
together
from
and think this
the ceiling. Wasn't there like
When
something
the spear stabbed Nagito,
on the ceiling that Chiaki saw?
his right hand was covered by the knife, right?
He was only able to move his left hand.
But his left hand was also tied up.
Then that rules out his left hand.
Okay.
If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth? Or maybe he used his front tail.
Stop using the front. Oh my
I
god,
know guys
stop
have
it.
tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
What are you saying?
A blushing Miss Sonia is freaking awesome!
You guys are distracting me, Jesus. I was hoping someone would say something about hanging it from the ceiling, but no, Akane had to go and say a front tail. If Nagito committed suicide, he must have used the spear to stab himself. Even if his arms and legs were tied up, there's no doubt he used some part of his body. What if it was his dick? I don't know. The only thing he could have used is... Oh boy.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear?
Alright, so duct
Let's
tape,
work together
plushie,
and think this
lighter,
through.
torture wounds, rope,
When the spear stabbed Nagito,
survival knife, blood on left hand.
his right hand was...
Okay. I was really hoping that this one would come up. A faint red line was on the ceiling girder inside the goods warehouse. How did that end up there? God, I was really hoping that that was going to be it. I was hoping that my theory was right about that, but it's not, so let's go to what we do have here. So his right hand was stabbed with a knife, so he wouldn't be able to use that. There's the burned rope. So his right arm was free, but he had the knife stabbed in it. And it's implied that the... Oh my god, I don't know. Blood was splattered on the palm of Nagito's left hand. For some reason, the splatter cuts off in the middle of his palm. Also, the back of his left hand has an unnatural bloodstain that's only above the middle joints of his finger. So is that what he was holding to something, maybe? So maybe he used his left hand, but it's tied up. I don't know how that's possible. Okay. Spear impaled through Nagito's stomach. A cord with an iron weight at the end of it extends from the back of the handle. For some reason, only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. Okay, there's gotta be something here. Only the section where the cord and weight touch. Bloody. I'm thinking maybe it was hanging and he like released it and so... I'm so frustrated. I can't... I feel like I've almost got something, but I can't quite put it together.
It's covered by the knife, right?
I don't... The spear isn't
He was
one
only
of
able
the...
to move his left hand.
Damn it.
But
Okay, the
his left
spear
hand was also tied up.
isn't a truth bullet.
Then that rules out his left hand. If that's the case, the only other way is...
He used his teeth?
But then there's the blood on his
Or
left
maybe he
hand.
used his front tail.
I know it's none of these.
I know guys have tails that get hard when they're grabbed.
None of these are...
What are you saying?
Please God, don't let any of those choices
A
be
blushing Miss
correct.
Sonia is freaking awesome!
Okay, it's gotta be his left hand, but I don't know how exactly.
How did Nagito stab himself with a spear?
Okay, let's go with the blood on
Let's
the
work
left
together
hand.
and think this through.
So I'm thinking maybe he did
When the
hang
spear
the
stabbed
spear,
Nagito,
and like his
right hand was covered by the
his
knife,
left
right?
hand maybe was able to grab the
He was
rope
only able to move his left
and
hand.
release the spear from
But his
the
left hand was also tied up.
from the girder.
And that rules out his left hand.
So let's try that. So we can't say for sure because of the blood
No, that's
splatter.
wrong.
All right, cool. So we have to figure out how though.
Hold on. It's still too early to dismiss the possibility that he used his left hand.
That's my guess. My guess isn't that he used his hand to stab himself, but he had some sort of contraption set up. So he was like maybe able to release the spear from the girder into his chest. And that's why he had the weird splatter.
Why? I mean, his left hand was tied up.
Because
you
it was
know?
attached to the pillar, so he might have been able to grab something.
There
from
was
the pillar.
something off about his left hand. The bloodstain on the palm of his hand. Don't you think it looked somewhat strange? He only had blood on the lower area of his palm. Beyond that point, the bloodstain suddenly cuts off, right?
When the blood splattered, that's as far as it reached, right?
That settles the description of that bloodstain, but it's not the only unnatural bloodstain. Look, there's blood on the back of his hand, around the middle joints of his fingers.
Like you said, it looks like an unnatural bloodstain, but what's wrong with that?
We might need to think and use our imaginations for a bit. If there's blood on his palm and the back of his hand, what was his left hand doing as the blood splattered?
Okay, so I'm trying to think. So obviously, the inside of his hand was probably because he was holding something. I'm still not sure of what could have caused that splatter pattern on the back of his hand, though. What was Nagito's left hand doing when the blood splattered? Like I said, I think he was holding on to something.
I see! When the blood splattered, he was probably gripping with his left hand.
And Akane, don't say he was gripping his front tail, please.
That's why there's such a strange-looking bloodstain on his palm and the back of his hand.
Was he grabbing his front tail?
God damn it! God damn it! Oh, I hate that I'm thinking ahead of them.
Perish the thought! He was obviously grabbing the spear!
Oh, he was grabbing a spear, all right, if you know what I'm saying.
Now that you mention it, compared to the rest of his body, the wounds on his left arm are pretty mild. He probably made his wounds mild on purpose, so he could keep his strength while he gripped the spear.
Wait, so he was holding on to the spear.
But even if he held the spear with his tied-up left hand, it'd be impossible for him to stab himself.
That's right, that's the problem.
Hey, Chiaki, what do you think? Hey, don't tell me you're getting sleepy.
At times like this, you should always strike from a good angle. Just like fixing an old TV.
Oh, I got it. Maybe.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, like I thought. It's no mistake that Nagito was gripping the spear. I think. However, what's important is what section of the spear he was gripping.
Okay, which section of the spear was he holding on to? Blade. Oh, it's like I was saying, like I think he dropped. Oh, isn't it weighted at the end as well?
I see! That's it. Instead of the handle, Nagito must have been holding on to the cord.
Okay, it's nice to see. It looks like my theory on this aspect of it at least might be right.
There was a metal weight at the tip of the cord, but there were bloodstains on that part too. Plus, the joint between the weight and the cord had a bloodstain shaped like it was cut off by something.
Okay, that's his, his hand was holding on to that, okay.
Isn't the size of that cut-off section about the same size as a human fist?
Ah, you're right. So this is the part Nagito was gripping, huh? And then the blood that was supposed to end up here ended up getting on Nagito's left hand.
But why is it
okay.
so important to know which part of the spear he was gripping?
You're not gonna say he gripped the tip of the cord, swung the spear around, and stabbed himself, right?
That is where the clue to solve this mystery resides. Right, Chiaki? I am sorry. Of course this mystery will not be solved
Chaki's
that
like,
easily.
guys, come on, stop asking me. I guess with Nagito gone, You know, it's definitely, there's more pressure on Chiaki to give out answers. I just realized now, it's like, I thought I would be missing Nagito's presence more during this class trial, but I've just been so into it that I just kind of realized, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he's not here. Nagito was gripping the cord extending from the butt of the spear with his left hand. But from there, how would he stab himself in the stomach with the spear?
It seems we are stuck. Shall we have tea time?
That would be me if I was in a situation where I had to do a class trial. I would just be going, like I'm thinking, like I'm on the cusp of figuring something out, and then I'll just wait for someone else to figure it out.
At a time like this, how about we stick to the plan to think one step at a time instead of expecting the answers all at once?
That's a long plan name.
One step at a time? What does that mean?
Let's focus on the spear first. Namely, where it was and how it was positioned just before it impaled Nagito.
How it was positioned.
Nagito was facing up and the spear was stabbed through his stomach. So if it's just before that, that's it. Could it be the state of the spear and the fact Nagito was holding the tip of the cord attachment? If I put those together and think about it, I should be able to figure it out. Where the spear was and what state it was in before it stabbed Nagito. Oh, real quick. Okay, just trying to remember. So there we go. So jump is a very important thing. Because these they got quite hard in the last class trial. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, question 1. Where was the spear just before... Yeah, I'm gonna go with my theory. I think it was hanging off the rafter. Whoa, okay, these are new, I think. I just gotta tell myself this is the last one I've got to deal with. This is, oh. Whoa. Question 2. Besides the spear, what else was beside... Oh, the girder. Okay, awesome. Doing well, doing well. It always feels good when you can get ahead of the game and like, figuring out what happened. Oh my god. Oh my god, these are getting so tricky now. Okay, question 3. What item connects both the spear and the ceiling girder? The spear's cord? The spear's cord, yes. Aw, dang it. I spent too much time thinking about it. God damn it. Just had to do that one little just hit something right at the end. Okay, there we go, we got something. Getting a little bit closer to the truth.
It's all coming together! The spear impaled Nagito as he was laying face up. It must have been perpendicular to him just before that.
Perpendicular? In the middle of the air?
If Nagito did that all by himself, did he have some sort of ESP?
That'd be awesome, but he probably used the ceiling girder directly above him.
Nagito probably slung the cord over the ceiling girder, and using that as a support, he hoisted the spear directly above him. And if Nagito let go of the cord, the spear would have fallen and impaled him while he was laying face up.
Okay, so... if it's this straightforward, this is going to be a very short class trial. So I'm like, there's got to be something else to this. Like, if he killed himself, okay, great, we figure out who the murderer is, but there's so many more things I need to know.
I noticed a slight red streak on the ceiling girder. It probably got smeared there during the setup.
The blood on the cord probably rubbed off on the ceiling girder as the spear was falling. So, how about it? Using this method, Nagito could have impaled himself with the spear.
Are you serious? He really committed suicide? Like that?
He probably chose that spear so he could commit suicide like that. If someone else did this, there's no reason they'd go to all this trouble just to kill someone with a spear.
This is it? This is it, so...
I agree. When I was investigating this case, I kept thinking over and over how strange it was.
So we figured out who the killer is, but I'm like, I'm what, an hour in?
Why did the killer use the knife and the spear so differently?
So you're saying he needed to use that spear to pull off his trick?
Fihiko doesn't seem convinced, I don't know.
Then this is for real? He really committed suicide? Every single wound on his body. That was all him?
I guess we hadn't had the suicide. We did in the first game with Sakura, but we hadn't had a suicide yet. But that's implying that's what this is. There's still, I'm sure, a lot of time left in this class trial.
Not just that, he did all that while he was gripping the spear?
Although, yeah, it seems like that might be what
spear should
happened.
not have stabbed Nagito until the very end.
Look at him, he's so blasé, but his face, though, his face was so horrified. Like, it just doesn't seem like him to be like that.
Which means Nagito wounded himself while he was gripping that spear, right?
I love it. He looks so blasé while he's slicing up his leg like he's just carving a turkey or
Did
something.
he put the duct tape on his mouth, too?
He probably covered his own mouth so we wouldn't hear him screaming in pain.
Did he need to go that far? That's beyond crazy. Why would he do that to himself?
He was probably trying to get us to make a mistake. By committing a suicide that looked like a murder, he was trying to steer us toward the wrong answer. His goal was to get us all executed.
Whoa, I don't know if that's it, though.
And that's why he stabbed himself over and over again?
I don't know. I don't think Nagito would want us all to die. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be more to it than that.
Did he want us to die that bad?
I don't think so.
That's messed up. That's seriously so messed up.
Yeah, that's our Nagito.
And I was starting to feel a little sympathetic toward him. How stupid of me. I completely underestimated his capacity for malice. A mind-boggling malice that threatens us even after he's died. That's the form his malice took. I'd forgotten all about it until now. If he was here now, he'd probably be sneering at me.
However, there is one thing I still do not understand. He said he would reveal the
Oh my
traitor,
god, that's right, the traitor! We still haven't figured that out yet.
Whatever became of that?
He was probably planning to kill the traitor along with the rest of us.
So why did he not just do that in the first place? If he had no qualms with killing everyone, he did not have to cause a bomb scare to reveal the traitor.
Good point, Sonia.
I
Good
bet the
point.
bomb scare was part of the strategy behind this trick. He made us split up and search for a bomb so none of us would have an alibi. He created a scenario where any of us could have killed him.
He tried to make us doubt each other. He tried to hide the truth behind his suicide.
Did he cause a bomb scare for that reason alone?
No. We are like, I feel like there's so much more we need to do.
He's a fucking bastard who killed himself for his delusions of grandeur. It's not that unthinkable.
You are right, I suppose.
Yeah, it appears we've come to a conclusion. Bastard Nagito committed suicide. It was all done by him so he'd be executed.
That should be okay.
No.
Right?
No, it's not gonna go down this easy.
What? You're not satisfied yet?
No, I agree that Nagito killed himself, but I feel like there's something that doesn't make sense. It's probably just my imagination.
Why? I mean, I sort of understand what she's talking about. There's like a million unanswered questions. I don't think it's a mistake to assume Nagito committed suicide, but why do I feel so uneasy about it? Is it because we don't know who the traitor is, or...
So what are you gonna do? Is it okay to proceed with the voting time?
What do you think, Akane?
Well, there's no doubt Nagito's death was a suicide. Oh well, I guess my gut is wrong sometimes.
You're right. It is not as though we can draw any other conclusion.
Then it's okay to end it here, huh?
I wonder if I have the choice to be like, either say, end it, or we gotta keep going.
That means we're done with this last class trial and we can leave this island, right? It's okay to reach such a happy ending, right?
Then it's okay?
No, it's not,
okay
because
to
it's
say
Danganronpa.
You've decided on the killer?
And the fact that Monokuma wants us to rush through it and pick someone, I'd be like, no, we're not done yet.
Understood. Then voting time.
No, hold on a sec.
That's right. Haha, you almost got it.
Hold on. Why?
Sorry, just a little more. I want you guys to wait just a little more. I can't help but feel like there's still something we overlooked.
Like who the traitor is?
But the issue here is who killed Nagito, right? Even if we identify the traitor, the conclusion won't change.
That's true, but...
The mystery isn't just about who the traitor is.
Huh?
No matter how you look at it, Nagito's death is a suicide. But I'm a little worried, you know? I'm worried about starting the voting time while there's still a mystery.
She's like, and also, we're only about an hour into this class trial, and it usually takes at least double that time, so we've got a lot more to do.
Hey, what do you mean it's not about who the traitor is? What kind of mystery is left?
There's just one thing that doesn't make sense, and it relates to Nagito's death. Plus, it's something even Nagito couldn't influence. He couldn't even tamper with the evidence for it.
Okay, what's this? Something related to Nagito's death, and it's something that even he couldn't have messed with.
You're gonna keep going?
Okay.
Here, I thought we were finally finished.
Something related to Nagito's death, a piece of evidence he couldn't mess with. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, it keeps going. Okay. So something even he couldn't mess with. I don't know what that means. So something he couldn't have put it like, what's the word I'm thinking of? He couldn't have done ahead of time. So we know he did probably the MP3 player, setting up the whole thing with this. The blood on the girder, he did this with his hand. The spear, he did... Something related to his death. Maybe something to do with the bombs? But he knew the bombs were fake. And then there's this whole thing with the gas mask and the poison. Then there's the Monokuma file that has all the stuff about his death. Body was discovered inside the warehouse. Estimated time of death believed to be noon sharp. Spear stabbed in his stomach. There are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. There's a laceration on his left arm and a knife. So we know he did all that. So, torture wounds. Oh god, I don't have a lot of time. Okay, so we're implying that he did torture himself. Nagito's right sleeve still looks clean. So he did all that. The duct tape. We said that he duct taped himself. What am I missing here? Is it maybe the poison? No, he'd be able to do that. Shoot. I've got less than a minute. What am I missing here? The bomb, the gas mask. I don't know what that thing is. Maybe this thing. Maybe it's something to do with the student? Oh, no, that's not it. I was thinking maybe something to do with the other student. Maybe the other student had something to do with it? Okay, I'm wondering maybe if it's... So we know he did all that. Maybe it's the whole thing about the time of death. maybe he wasn't able because it said noon sharp, so we can't guarantee that he would have been able to do that, like to know exactly what time he was gonna die.
I see!
Oh, okay. So that was it.
Is it about the Monokuma file?
Yeah, that's it.
Huh? There was something suspicious in the Monokuma file?
It was the fact that they said noon sharp, so it would have to be, and we're, yeah. Maybe, I'm hoping that I'm right about that. The victim is Nagito, last name I can't pronounce. The body was discovered inside the warehouse near the Monokuma plushie factory. The estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. Not only is there a spear stabbed in his stomach, there are multiple stab wounds on each of his thighs. Furthermore, there is a laceration on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. The suspicious part of the Monokuma file Chiaki is worried about is... what's hidden in the Monokuma file? Is it the time? No, I don't know. What's suspicious about the Monokuma file? Oh, right, I gotta actually do the thing. Is it like time of death? No, it wouldn't be time of death. That wouldn't work. Oh, right, I forgot I can do the concentrate. All right, let me look. At the actual letters we've got here. Shoot. I'm doing terrible. I don't even know what... Oh my god. What is... Okay, so... Oh, I'm wondering if it's... Is it the cause of death? I'm just, like, looking at the letter, so it's not time of death, because that wouldn't work. And there is a lot of C, so let's... Okay, alright. I think it's cause of death. Cause of death, oh god. I need an A, if that's right. Please let me be right. Oh, there's an A. Oh god, there's so many now. There's so many. Shit. Wow, this ramped up. Come on. Where's a U? Okay, S. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose like all of my... Okay, S. Okay, E. This is insanity. So are they implying that that wasn't actually the cause of death was the spear? We were just assuming it was? Oh my goodness. F. Wow, guys, I am doing real bad here. Real bad. Yeah. A. Okay, I just need an H. Come on. Oh, there's an H. Okay. That was real hard.
In this particular case's Monokuma file, there's no specific cause of death.
I can't believe I missed that. Yeah, they just said what his wounds were. They didn't necessarily say what his cause of death was. I wonder if maybe that's where the poison's gonna come into play. Maybe he was actually poisoned. And someone else killed him?
Isn't that weird? Until now, the files always specified the cause of death.
But the cause of death is obvious, is it not? The spear in Nagito's stomach. It is obvious just by looking at it that it was the cause of
It's
death.
true, we can't say for sure. He could have been dead after this all happened. Maybe he didn't commit suicide after all.
Maybe it's not included if it's not important enough to write about.
Well, Monokuma, I plead the fifth!
He was like, I was so close to getting you guys to vote.
There he goes again! I'm so appalled that I have nothing to say.
But even during Gundam's case, and before during Mikan's case, the thing he purposely omitted from the Monokuma file was always the most important mystery in the case.
Chiaki, I am so glad you caught that. I totally would have just completely bypassed that.
Are
We
you
all just
saying
assumed that
that
the spear
applies
was
this time
the
too?
time of death, or not the time of death, sorry, cause of death.
Hold on a sec. Then, are you saying there's more to Nagito's death? Are you suggesting, again, that his death wasn't a suicide?
He's like, I don't know what to think. First, you guys told me it was a suicide. I didn't believe it, then I did, and now you're saying it's not.
You guys were the ones who said it was a suicide in the first place.
No, I don't think it's a mistake to call Nagito's death a suicide, but
Okay, so they're still saying he killed himself.
it's not just a suicide.
Or are they saying it was an assisted suicide? Like maybe he, like I was saying, maybe he asked the imposter to help him.
Come to think of it, did Nagito really commit suicide just to get us all killed?
Yeah, I didn't believe that for a second.
Are you sticking up for him?
That's not what I meant. I mean it in a bad sense.
Oh, never mind.
Bad sense?
I just remembered that his malice always defied our expectations, and that concerns me. For example, would that malice just end here?
Oh, so he wanted us to think that it was a suicide and he killed himself, but it was actually someone helping him and they're technically the murderer. So it's like maybe he knew all this time that who the imposter was and they were working together?
Huh?
Just like Junko and her sister. I'm so sorry I can't remember her name.
Did Nagito's malice drive him to risk his life for a truth we'd reach this easily? I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about, you know?
How interesting! You sure do believe in Nagito, huh? Because you believe in his malice, you continue to suspect his malice. I see. I guess that's what passes for friendship these days.
What friendship?
What should we do, you guys? Should we proceed with the vote? I think we should keep going until everyone is satisfied, even if it's just to be safe.
Exactly. I mean, we've got all the time in... Well, no, actually, we don't have all the time in the world because there's a timer. I forgot about that.
You are right. We only get one chance to vote after all.
Just to be safe, huh? Guess I have no choice. If that's the case, I'll do my best to go along with it.
Thank you, Fuihiko.
This is friggin' annoying.
Shut up, Kazuichi.
But if you guys say you're doing it, there's no way I'm gonna back out.
Especially if Sonya's on board.
Hey, Monokuma, you heard us. The voting's gonna have to wait.
We've come this far. Let's work hard till the very end. If we work together, everything should be all right. That's what I believe.
Oh, splendid. You guys are so splendid right now.
Still don't know what to think of you, Monami.
That's right. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you.
Maybe Monami is the ultimate imposter and she's impersonating a bunny. Or Usami, whoever she was at the beginning. If all your hopes are united, no despair can shake you, huh? Now that I think about it, Nagito said the same thing. The absolute hope that can overcome any despair. He said he was yearning for that. Then the situation we're in might be the thing Nagito wanted all along. No, never mind. I'm probably overthinking.
No!
Man, my heart was racing like crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it rationally, there's no way it was gonna happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured that out too. You're the only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Monami? Hey, how much longer are you planning to sulk? Let's get along like we always do. Alright, you passed. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand the silence when you're alone with someone else. So, Mon and me are the bestest of best friends. Don't say such stupid things. I hate you so much right now. Enough. Why do I have to be hated that much? Besides the fact that you snapped at me like that, I don't trust you at all. Not even a teensy tiny 1mm bit. How sad. Distrusting your friend is much more shameful than being betrayed by that friend, you know. We aren't even friends in the first place. Then, as your older brother, let me say this. You're not even my brother. It's sad to live a life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school rom-com full of guys. Well, there may be some demands for that. I fell for it. I totally took the man bait.
I'm Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say. Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now. Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this?
Oh my god, so it's like everything that we just talked about. Just throw it all out the window.
In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities. Huh.
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is a knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like... it's possible that we overlooked something.
Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
A fatal wound that wasn't the spear. We don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we need to find out what it is, no matter what. Oh, there's the poison. As like I said, it had to come into play at some point, and I think that might be it.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
But let's go through the other things. That was just the
It's not
first
the
thing
knife
that
in his right hand,
popped
right?
into my head. Or popped
It's not
out.
the other
And then there's
wounds,
that piece
right?
of blue paper, which I was like, maybe that's
With all those wounds,
some sort of like transportation device for
maybe
the
he
poison.
simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
If it's something that can't be seen, maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold. Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Just thinking about it, that's already a
Jeez,
horrible death.
She's so descriptive. The real cause of Nagito's death. Is there something I overlooked?
Let us consider a...
And the thing too about the poison, if I remember, it said something about the liquid is dangerous when vaporized. In a gaseous state, it is heavier than air, breaks down in minutes, and is susceptible to hydrolysis. So it is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a gas or plastic container away from sunlight. So with the heat in the air, it would vaporize and you'd have no idea it was even there. So I'm guessing that's gotta be it. And it was something someone said, it's something that you couldn't see. Oh, there was a piece of blue paper. I'm pretty sure it is going to be... This is so interesting. Round, thin piece of aluminum paper. Obviously, it can't be a transportation thing for the poison because poison's liquid, but I don't know. I can't wait to find out what the heck that thing is. Obviously something very
It's not
important
the
to
knife in his
Nagito.
right hand, right?
All right, where is the poison?
It's not the other wounds,
poison.
right?
There it is.
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Dang it! Dang you! There we go.
I agree with
Jeez.
that.
Just hammering away at that white noise.
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
That's right, because only Hajime and Chiaki know about the poison.
Poison? It is true that poison is not something we can see, but why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
Once again, Fuyuhiko's like, I would know this.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
It's all part of the job, right?
But, even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
I'm still of the belief that Nagito, I mean, I don't know. The imposter has to have something to do with this. Like, you wouldn't bring that up so late in the game and not have it be something to do with this class trial. It is possible Nagito did this all himself, like he took the poison, and then the poison killed him, and as he died, he released his grip on the cord, which speared himself. So technically the poison would be the cause of death. But I'm just like, I can't help but think maybe he had some help with this, or I don't know.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So
Ah.
how would he drink poison?
That is a good point, Kazuichi.
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right
So-
hand had a knife stuck in it.
So maybe I'm just imagining the imposter guy just like pouring the poison into his mouth and then duct taping him. And that's the thing too, is he duct taped his mouth shut. So when would he have been able to drink the
If
poison?
it was a slow-acting poison,
Oh,
it is
okay.
possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle
Oh, the
explicitly
effect is
states the
instant. Well,
effect
there
is
we go.
instant.
So someone would have had to duct tape him shut. So someone else must have been a part of this.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
Shut up with a hard tail, Akane. Oh my god.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
His mouth was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible.
But then there was the thing too about about it in the air. I said that earlier. It's like you wouldn't have to consume the poison. It would, as long as it's hot enough, you'd be able to ingest it that
Just
way.
kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear!
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label.
I bet you it's
Maybe.
exactly what I just said about it being in the air. The way the poison entered Nagito's body, the answer is written on the warning label. I should think carefully and try to remember it. Alright, do another logic dive. Oh, wow, that was Not a good start. All right, question 1. What state was the poison when it affected gas? Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, that was kind of close. Oh, right. Yeah, that, yeah. Gotta watch out for those gaps. Oh my god, I gotta go all the way back this way again. Ugh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez. Maybe going so fast, not such a good idea around here. It's getting real hairy now. Alright, question 2. How did the poison enter Nagito's body? Okay, so if his mouth was shut... Oh, through his nose. Yeah, you just ingest it that way. So, yeah, maybe, I guess he did straight up kill himself. I mean, all the ways that I'm thinking, like, oh no, he would have to have someone help him. It's just all been disproven, so he thought of everything in typical Nagito fashion. Oh, there's only 2 for that one.
It's all coming together. What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
This enchanted liquid is highly potent and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. Though its volatility is low, the liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
Okay, so I guess it didn't necessarily have to... I thought that the fire, like, it had to be heated up. I'm trying to think. Does it have to be heated up by, like, the environment in order for it to turn into gas? Or could he have done that? Because in that instance, then, as soon as the fire was set, basically, it would have been like the poison turns into gas. No, that doesn't make sense. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of word vomiting right now.
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse?
I was thinking, like, so we set off the fire, which turned the poison into gas, and then he died that way, and then his grip would have loosened on the spear, which would have impaled him. So that all would have happened as soon as we had entered the warehouse. I guess that's possible, because it does say that his time of death was 12 o'clock sharp, and if it was caused by the poison, I think we entered the... Did we enter the warehouse at around noon? It'll all be explained.
But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse,
okay.
Why didn't it kill us?
That's a fair point, too. The reason we didn't breathe in the poisonous gas, I should be able to... Oh, the sprinklers. I was thinking the fire, but the fire, I think, would make things worse.
I see! The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
Okay, so at least Nagito must have thought of that. He didn't want to kill us as well. That's good. That's nice, at least.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
Okay, in a gaseous state, it is heavier than air, breaks down in minutes, and is susceptible to hydrolysis. It is possible for you to poison someone to death without any complications.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers.
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air.
Okay.
So it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
I feel dumb. Chemistry has never been my strong suit,
But
so...
Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it meets the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning.
So we're still saying that he did kill himself, but the cause of death was different than we thought.
The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
I guess that doesn't really change anything, at least from their point of view, because he still killed himself, so he's still the one who's the murderer, but I'm like, no, it's probably not the case.
We figured out that Nagito died from poison,
It's
but
true.
so what?
It doesn't really change anything, does it?
In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Then that's gonna mean he didn't commit suicide.
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but
What? There's still more?
They're probably just like, you just wasted our time. It's like, it's still the same conclusion. I mean, not all the mysteries have been solved yet. No, not even close. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill every last one of us? Was that really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Nagito's motive. Nagito's malice. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Oh, yes! Yes! The accomplice theory is still a possibility. Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought,
Yeah, like,
then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
that's so true. That's so true. Like, he would have had to either transport it in some way, or someone would have had to bring the bottle back to his cabin.
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
If Nagito really brought poison to the warehouse, then the thing that would have been left behind is the container.
I see! Are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, that was written on the warning label.
That's right. Keep this liquid secure by storing it in a cool place in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight.
The container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even the plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
I was still thinking that those fire grenades had something to do with what happened. Maybe one of the fire grenades was full of the poison, and by throwing it into the fire, that's what activated it.
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
Or there's also that possibility.
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible!
But then, that still leaves the thing that's like, how did the accomplice get out of the warehouse? Because all of that stuff would have still been set up with the panels.
I mean, an accomplice? It is just two?
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right! You're totally right! That's totally it!
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
Well, you're in the wrong game, Kazuichi. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to get hurt anymore by hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of doubting everyone else. I also feel that way. That's why I just want to rule this as Nagito's suicide. If I do that, nobody here has to get hurt, except if we're wrong, then everyone will get hurt. But
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito's suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us. He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga. Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right? Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is?
I mean, the thing is, if it's... I'm trying to think if we've ever had a situation where we've had an accomplice. Like, there was the thing with Celeste and Hifumi and Taka, where Hifumi was her accomplice, but then she killed him too. So, I mean, in this situation, if two people are working together to kill one person, could you pick either of those people and then that would be the correct answer? Or do you have to choose both of them? That's an interesting point.
Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing.
They are just so done with this. It's not like our lives, you know, hang in the balance or anything, you guys, and we have to absolutely make sure we get this right.
And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
Oh, am I right? Am I right? Oh my god. I am, aren't I? It was hiding in the fire grenades. What is this feeling just now? Even though it was brief, it was like a strong flash of light running through the back of my head. Maybe what Akane just said just now might be a new clue. From there, I might be able to reach the answer. The way Nagito brought the poison, which means the thing he used as a container was... Aha, I got it. Alright, so I know this one, unlike last time. Come on, give me that F. This one's... I mean, at least for now, it's even easier than the last one. The last one was just like right off the bat, it was just letters everywhere. And as soon as I say that, I'm eating my words. Okay, I need a G. Shoot. Oh, I needed that. Wait, there it is. Oh my god, I need that. Give me that. Oh my god. Yeah, spoke too soon. Now it's getting a little crazy. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, I need an N. Oh, Jesus. Why are you not giving me another N? Come on. Oh, jeez, I'm gonna lose that one. Oh. Ah. There it is. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is not going well. Just need an E. Oh, I'm losing everything. Oh wait, no, I need a D. Shoot. I'm dumb. I'm done. Okay, there we go.
I got it!
Right from the investigation, I was like, those fire grenades, there's something to them.
I see. I got it!
I never would have thought it would have been the poison, though.
Huh?
The fire grenades! Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
So maybe there wasn't an accomplice after all.
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone.
But I'm just trying to think. I hate to say this because I think Sonia was the one who knew about the fire grenades in the break room of the where. I'm like, why would she know where those are unless she was in on it? And I'm really hoping that's not the case.
Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place. As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
I mean, I guess he could imply that we are the unwitting accomplice to this, but
That bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
I'm hoping that's just the case. It's just we helped him without realizing
Which
it.
means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
Oh my god, that's what that thing under the bed
If
was?
so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents
That
of one of
blue
the fire
thing.
grenades.
Okay, so I wasn't too far up where it said it had something to do with the poison. It was just not in quite the way that I thought.
Seriously? That's impossible. Miss Sonia just said so right now.
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
She unwittingly helped us. All right, I know exactly what I'm going for. The piece of blue paper.
I can prove it with this. Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's
I kind of
bed?
wonder, why was Sonia looking so intently at those fire grenades anyway?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask
Oh,
and
yeah.
gloves under his bed, too.
Did he use those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a dangerous poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in, and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide. Enough already!
You're right.
Oh man, they are so hung up on the suicide thing.
If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just
Okay.
my misunderstanding.
Aw man, I was all excited about that idea.
You're right.
In actuality,
Oh,
the truth is even more horrifying.
whoa, okay.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
Chiaki?
Wow, she's gotten all fired up now.
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Realized what?
What is it? What is it?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? when did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
Is she implying that we're all the murderers?
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
The moment the fire grenades were brought and the moment Nagito breathed in the poison were the same? Could that same moment be when we all threw the grenades? So she's implying that we are the accomplice.
Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so. When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse.
Now we have no way of knowing which one of us threw the actual fire grenade that was the one that killed him.
The poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
And we have to figure out which one of us is the one who threw the fire grenade with the poison in it.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Shit.
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
What the heck? But you said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Oh, that's the thing we don't know.
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
It was Nagito.
I see!
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poison grenade?
Okay, that was also Nagito.
I see!
That was also Nagito.
What is she getting at? I'm so concerned right now.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
The reason Nagito set the warehouse on fire, it was to make someone throw the poison. It was to make one of us be the one who killed him.
I see!
Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out?
Guys, how are you not
Why'd he do that?
realizing what this is implying right now?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know.
Oh no.
The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
So we have no idea who the actual killer is.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
Nagito, you little shit.
This wasn't an intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason, he put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
God damn it. How in the world are we gonna figure this out?